And I was thinking that, you know, as I work with clay, and I think more with my heart than my head, just thinking about what human means, what human race means. And I was like, well, there's so much going on with race. It's just like, can we just bring it back down to flat earth and just talk about it with level heads? Level heads. Can we just bring it down to flat earth and talk about it with level heads? And so I've been deep involved in research about race for quite some time now, and what I've learned is that there are only 3 races. I know people will disagree with this. Everything else you know of is either a culture, a people, or a nationality. It's not actually a race. There are only 3 races, and that's why I've chosen these 3 little blocks of clay to explain this. Because with these 3 little blocks of clay, I can explain to you how I see things, how maybe other people see things, just a different philosophical take on it all, right? So this would be your Mongoloid. This is your Mongoloid race. And by the way, these aren't negative words. These are just words. Okay, they're just using actual English language here. This would be your Caucasoid race, and this would be your Negroid race. And the Mongoloids, the Caucasoids, and the Negroids are the only 3 races that we have. What you think of as other races, which I have already explained, are nationalities, people, or whatever, they're just a clever combination, clever rearrangement of these 3 races. And as I was thinking about the word human, shades man, human race, shades of man, competing, race, competition, it seems as though we've been placed in a human race, which is nothing more than a shaded people competition. A competition for different shades of people. And not to mention that we're made out of all of the ingredients that exist in dirt and clay, that we are basically, or could be considered, claymations. I know some people aren't going to agree with that, but just go with it. So we're claymations here on this realm, and there's three races racing. And so I said this to my husband, and I'm like, listen to this, like hue, man, color, man, race, competition, a group of people competing that are of different colors. And he's like, well, that seems overly simplistic, let me Google it. And so he Googles it, and he was like, it says here that the word human has nothing to do with hue, which means color, that it's a Latin word, and it means blah, 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 and it doesn't mean anything like what you think it means. And this coincides with a conversation that I had with Sunny Peaches just the day before I had this idea in my head, and she said to me, I don't think Latin ever existed. Daphne, I really don't. Daphne, I think they made that shit up to give their shit credibility. And I was like, you know, I think you're right, because I feel like they made up, you know, all the shit that they made up. Aristotle, Eratosthenes, Galileo, they made all that shit up. So why wouldn't they make up the Latin language to give themselves what seems to be some roots?